Play that one.
First time, welcome, and if you haven't subscribe because temptation is just irresistible, period. So we're gonna talk about the time me and someone I used to talk to got hit by a drunk driver. Okay, Bizu. Now let me give you some context. I met this person I was talking to at an old apartment complex that I used to live at. I've been working out consistently for a while now. So we met in the gym. He was working and he was supervising one of his patients, I guess. He used to work for like one of those agencies that provided sitters for like the special needs, and yeah, that's what it was given. So we met and he asked if I did hair, trying to be sneaky or whatever. Not sneaky necessarily, but trying to get my number in a creative way. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I do hair. At this time, I was really broke. I didn't have a job and I was really trying to get in my bag. So I was like, even though I knew what he was doing, I gave him my number. So he came back eventually and I did his hair, and of course he threw a pass at me. You know, I hate to sound like I'm a gold digger, but I really didn't give a fuck about niggas at the time because my mind was focused on what I was eating and how I was gonna keep a roof over my head and how I was gonna pay for my car and stuff. So he would just always like, I would always ask for like food and he would always bring it to me. So that's basically why I kept him around. Okay, now let's fast forward to the night all of this happens, right? So at this point in time, I had moved out of that apartment and I was, you could say homeless, but I was staying on my best friend's at the time couch. So he had invited me to this baby shower. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go to this baby shower. This dude was Nigerian, I think, which is crazy. I don't usually like to date Nigerian men, not because of whatever, like their culture or whatever. It's just for me, I feel like with all the experiences I've had with Nigerian men or African men, they were very fast. Not fast in the sense of like sex only, but like ready to marry me type shit. And I was just like, look, or like ready to introduce me to their mom the same day. And again, I'm like, look, like, slow down. But whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll go to the baby shower, only because he said, of course, there's gonna be hella free food. When he said there was gonna be hella free food, I said, food is life, food is bae, food is everything. So yeah, I'm going, period. And it's a free ride. Come on now. So we go, and it was okay. When I got there, there was girls there that I could tell had like probably had their eyes on him, so they was being stank with me, but it wasn't given. I found it. So I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser in hazelnut, but first I'm gonna go in. I like to use like an eye pencil or a lip pencil, like that's in the color black, and go on my eyebrows. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna use my eyeshadow mirror to do this look because I want to do my makeup while I tell y'all this story. All right, so where I left off. So we got to the baby shower. It was given these bitches was jealous. Oh well, that means I was doing something right. And then I get my food. I got like 5 plates worth of food, bitch. That food lasted me about 3 or 4 days, I'm not gonna lie. It was bomb. I love African food. So time goes on, it's time to leave, everybody's leaving, we say our goodbyes, and then he starts driving me home. This is where things just start going left. So he's driving me home, and of course, like I said, he's fast. So he's like,
honestly, baby, I really, really love you, and I can see myself being with you for the rest of my life. Da 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 da. I really think I'm in love with you. I really want you to be with me. Da 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 da. I want you to meet my mom. Meet your mom.
Meet your mom. It was never giving meet your mom. I just wanted some food. I don't care how like shallow or rude I sound. No, like, no, you don't even know me like that. No. So yeah. So he's just talking to me like that the whole ride, and I'm telling him like, no, I don't want to be with you. No, I'm not attracted to you. No. Still going on. So while he's talking to me or whatever, we're on the Marlboro Pike. I'm in Maryland, so we're on the Marlboro Pike, and it's like we're not really paying attention to who's around us, right? So while we're in the midst of going back and forth, and he's proclaiming his love for me or whatever, there's like a drunk driver next to us, and of course we're in the right lane, all the way to the right. This person, the Marlboro Pike has 2 lanes on each side. We're in the very right lane, and the person is in the left lane. So when the person gets right next to our car, we're in a small ass Saturn, one of those old school Saturns. That's the car he had. So, and then this person is in like, I want to say, what are those cars called? A Mustang. Like, he's in like a Mustang. I forgot what it's called. Like the model. Whatever. He's in a Mustang. I know it was a Mustang. That's what I remember. And I'm like, okay. So I'm arguing with him, not paying attention either. Next thing you know, I just hear boom, and our car is starting to go, like we're driving on the sidewalk in the direction of a pole. So in the direction of a pole, and right before our car hits the pole, he drives the car back into the driver that crashed into us. And then at this point the car's destroyed. So both of us, both the drunk driver and the dude I was talking to, pull over. So when he pulls over, as the person I'm talking to starts getting out of the car, the drunk driver drove off. Luckily, I got the plate. I memorized the plate number. In the midst of all of that chaos, I memorized the plate number because the person was dumb enough to pull over in front of us, so that he knocked us over. Person drove back, and instead of braking to park behind us so I wouldn't be able to see his plates, he parked in front of us like a dumbass. When he got out the car, drove off. So I was like, he was mad. So the person that was driving me was real pissed now. So I was like, stop wasting time, call police, call your insurance, and file a claim before the person does, if they do, while you have the tag information. So the police came, he filed a police report, and I guess I helped him file a claim on Geico for his car. So the car was fucked up. After all this happened, the car was so fucked up that he was not going to be able to drive me home. Now, on GPS, it was saying like the amount of time it would take for him to take me home was about an hour. Regular time if he was driving regular speed with a fixed car. The car's fucked up. So it was so fucked up because remember I said that he drove us onto the side, so, and we almost hit a pole. So we were so close to hitting the pole that my entire, like the entire side of the car that I was on was fucked up, like it grazed the pole. His side was fucked up also because the person crashed into his side. So his driver's side mirror was knocked off. Both his doors was fucked up. On my side, the passenger side tire was like fucked up, like dented, like the axle was fucked up too, everything. So I was like, no, I'm not staying here for this. Mind you, after all of that happened and we finished filing the claim, this nigga is still proclaiming his love for me. Still proclaiming his love for me.
I want to be with you. You're so smart. Da, 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 da. I don't know what I would have been able to. I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for you. If you weren't here. Da, 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 da. You see, I tried so hard to protect you from crashing into that pole because I care about you. Da, 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 da.
Girls, shut the fuck up!
Just talking all this shit, and I'm like, sir, I've already said no. We literally almost just lost our lives because you were so distracted with talking about how much you're in love with me and all that rah-rah shit. So I'm like, listen, bruh, because at this time I didn't have money for an Uber, okay? I was real out broke. I was on the couch and I needed a ride home. All my friends are asleep at this point but my roommate, and she was already occupied. So I wasn't gonna ask her to come all the way over there and pick me up. But I'm texting her the whole time, telling her what's going on. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? My life is a fucking movie. My life is a fucking movie. And I'm like, at this point, I'm pissed. I'm cussing him out.
I'm like, no, shut the fuck up. You need to stop talking right now and just drive me the fuck home. I don't give a fuck if your car is fucked up. That's not my prerogative. You need to take me home right now. Da, 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 da. If you know what's best for you, you better start driving this fucked up car and take me home.
All of that. So he really did try to drive me home in that fucked up car. So we literally drove. It took us about an hour and 45 minutes to get about, I want to say like maybe 3 miles away from home. And I'm like, okay, so the reason why we only were able to get 3 miles away from where I needed to go, my destination, was because we got pulled over on the BWI Parkway because his car, he was driving his car fucked up with the fucked up tire and all that shit. That's illegal as fuck. But I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to go home. I wasn't gonna stay with that nigga proclaiming his love for me and all that shit. So, and this nigga said he wasn't gonna call for someone to tow him. I'm like, because he didn't have AAA. I'm like, none of these are my problem. This is not my problem. So, when we got pulled over, the officer asked what happened. And we told him, and he was like, okay, he can't let us drive any further because it's too dangerous. Like, how bad the car was fucking up. I guess, you know, because we drove the car on the fucked up tire, and I guess he was saying, like, the fucking, I don't know if it's the axle, the tire, the rim, I don't fucking know. Whatever was dragging on the floor was sparking and all that shit. Whatever. He was just like, it's just not safe. and he did not let us go any further. And I'm like, son, we're right in front of the exit. I need to go home. I need to go home. And then the officer's like, okay, well, I don't know. You need to call somebody to pick you up. I'm like, okay, this is my only ride. Can you take me home? The officer said no. I'm like, so what am I going to do? He was like, I don't know, but you can't drive this car any further. Of course, it was a white cop, but whatever. This African nigga is still annoying the fuck out of me. Still annoying the fuck out of me. Still talking about he loved me, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. Talking me off. I get so pissed off. Y'all gonna be like, why did you do this? I got so pissed off, y'all. I fucking got out the car, put my thumb out to, like, I literally almost stood in the middle of fucking traffic on the BW Parkway, incoming traffic, and stuck my thumb out. Like,
who's picking me up? I'm not fucking doing this. Like, I'm not doing this because...
First of all, hold on. I'm telling the story way too fast because there's more. Before I go in traffic and stick my thumb out for a ride, before I do that, I call my best friend at the time and tell her what was going on. I mean, she knew what was going on anyways. And I was just asking her, like, can you call me an Uber? Like, can you call me an Uber? I'm less than 3 miles away. And she knows exactly where I'm at. So at the time, we was in College Park, if you're familiar with the area. So if you're familiar with the area, I was on the BW Parkway. It's the Richmond exit, and then the Baltimore College Park exit right after that. So we was like an exit and a half away from where I needed to go. After you take that exit, we're literally like, the apartment is literally right off the exit, not even 5 minutes away. So she calls me like 2 Ubers, bruh. She calls me like 2 Ubers. The first Uber, because of my location where I was at, because of the location where I was at on the BW Parkway, it was sending them to like this random ass location, like in a park or something like that. Like they could not find me. They could not, the Uber driver could not find me. So she was like, maybe that was just a dumbass driver. She calls me another Uber. The same thing happens. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on my night? At this point, it's like 3 a.m. It's like 3 a.m. and I cannot find a way back. So, I literally started crying, I think, at this point. Like, I started crying because I was just like, my night is not going well. Like, it's not going well. So, at this point, this is when I start sticking my thumb out in traffic because I'm not staying with this nigga. Like, I made up my mind. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck what happens. I'm not staying with this crazy ass nigga. Like, I'm tired of hearing him talk about, oh, I'm in love with you. You have to come home with me tonight because I can't get my car towed. So, I stick my thumb out in traffic, and not even 10 minutes later, somebody pulls over, and I'm like, oh my god, please don't let it be a creep. Please don't let this be the night I get kidnapped, because that'll be like fucked up, because I've had a fucked up night. So it was this guy that it was like a mechanic that stopped, and he saw me, and he was like, when I got in the car, first of all, when he stopped, he asked me where I needed to go. I was like, I need to go right off this exit, the Baltimore College Park exit. I live right off Baltimore Road or Baltimore Ave. Yada, yada, yada. He was like, all right, I'll take you. I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you. So I get in his car. I'm like, okay. And I sent my best friend at the time, she has my location. Yada, yada, yada. I was like, okay, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Okay? She's staying away too. So I grab my food from that nigga's car when we drive off. And Bizu, move. So we're talking on a short drive, and he's telling me what he does for work. He gives me his business card to prove that he's a mechanic, and he asked me the story of what happened and why I was on the side of the BW Parkway with my thumb out asking for a ride at like damn near 3 a.m. and I told him what happened, and he was like, wow, that's fucking crazy. So he was like, well, I'm glad I could help you out. I wouldn't want if it was my sister, I would want someone safe and nice to take her home if she went through the same thing. And I was like, that's very nice of you, sir. I appreciate you so much. I don't have any money to give you. And we've tried calling Uber, telling him, thanking him, all that stuff. Then I finally get home. Thank you, God. I finally get home. I got home at it was like 3, because all that shit happened at like 2:30 by the time I found a ride. It was damn near 3, then I got there at 3. That was a long ass day, yo. That whole night, that African guy was proclaiming his love to me. We got hit by a drunk driver. I don't know, I don't want to say I almost died, but it was that bad though. It really was that bad. I really wish I took pictures of how damaged his car was, because he totaled his car. His car was totaled, but it was still, not totaled because he was still able to drive it, but that damage was crazy. And we were in a small ass Saturn, like, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, so I went back in with the hazelnut Maybelline concealer. Sorry, I had a phone call. Okay, so I have to tell y'all about what happened after all that, because he did hit me back up after that, because I don't know why I didn't block him at this point, but he was not blocked, and he hit me up, and he was like, oh, thank you again for helping me file the claim, and I appreciate you, So it got messy even afterwards, because when he hit me up, he kept saying that he loved me, So like a couple weeks later, I hit him, not a couple weeks, or was it a couple days or a couple weeks? I don't know. I hit him up because I'm like, you know what? I'm hungry. It was probably one of those days I was hungry and I wanted him to bring me food. And the message was weird. The message I got back was, oh no, I'm busy. No, actually, it was something like spiteful, like, oh no. Somebody took a picture of him laying in the bed sleeping or whatever, and I could tell it was like staged. They staged taking this picture of him sleeping, and they sent like a paragraph text saying like, so and so is resting. He told me what you said about Africans. When he was telling me and proclaiming his love, I love Africans, but when he was proclaiming his love and stuff like that, remember how I said like a lot of African men are fast, like they're fast, like they shoot their shot and they shoot all the way. They shoot 3-pointers from jump. That's what I'm talking about. And I also told him that's why I don't like dating African men, because they tend to take things too fast, and I don't like going fast. And I also don't like meeting the family that fast. And I also don't like being controlled. They're very misogynistic as well, for cultural reasons, but that's them, bro. And I know what I like and what I don't like, and that's just period. So she was like, I know what you said about Africans and blah, 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 blah. And then I guess she came for me. She said something insulting, but I can't really remember. The bitch tried me via text message, and I just laughed. I laughed it off. And I was like, whatever. Tell me why. Tell me why. Even after getting that message, I want to say like a couple weeks later, he hit me back up. And it was really him. And I still have the thread where whatever bitch was in his fucking bed that sent me that was still on my phone. So I'm using Cocoa Kisses to set where I highlighted my face. And I'm gonna press it in. I'm gonna press it in. And he was just like, oh, how have you been? I haven't heard from you. Da 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 da. And I'm like, nigga, what the fuck is you talking about? Do you not recall one of your hoes texting me whatever you had them text me? Because obviously I know you had them text me that, because what the fuck? You pretended like you was sleeping, laying down. The person took the picture with flash on. Are you telling me you slept through a fucking staged photo of you sleeping in your bed with clothes on? Not even like you sleeping with pajamas or just your boxers or anything like that. You have full-blown clothes on. You staged that motherfucker. You telling me you don't recall that? You don't recall? It's not in your phone? So he's like, no, that wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. What text message? Da 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 da. I'm like, okay. And he was like, I think I know who sent it. And I'm like, who? Your hoe? Like I just said? He was like, no, but I think I know who sent it. I'm like, you're fucking dumb. And you think I'm dumb and I don't have time for that. Anyways, I tell him the same thing I said in the fucking car. You're not my type. I don't want anything to do with you. And clearly, you don't want anything to do with me. Oh, first of all, let's talk about... I skipped a very important part. So, in the car ride, when we was on our way to the baby shower, he was telling me crazy shit like, because I guess in his tribe or wherever he's from, they be practicing voodoo. And he be telling me like, he used to be telling me, oh, I know you're a seer, because I be having dreams, y'all. But I don't really be talking about it. But I be having dreams. He's like, I know you're a seer. Da 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 da. And then he's going into his like spiritualism and stuff like that, and what he does with his spirituality. And of course, he basically practices voodoo, or whatever they call it in his tribe. And he's like, I'm possessed by a demon. That's what he told me. He's like, he has a demon on him, and the demon makes him smoke cigarettes. Or no. I lied, like shit. The demon, for him to repress the demon, he has to smoke cigarettes because he doesn't like cigarettes. And I was like, what? He was like, yes, if he doesn't, because he used to smoke non-stop. Smoke cigarettes non-stop, and I also hate that shit. Smoke cigarettes non-stop. And I was like, okay, all right. I don't know what to say. Like, what do you even say to that? What do you say to that? At this point, I'm like, I'm already in this nigga's car. Let me just keep it cordial. At this point, I didn't cuss him out yet, like I told y'all, but I was just like, I don't know. Like, my mom would be so disappointed if she heard about this, but it happened, and it's just a funny story now. But yeah, he was like, you're a seer. I know you're a seer, and yeah, I have a demon on me, and you don't want to see him. He's a monster, and he's very aggressive, and I can hurt you. And like, nigga, why? What in the world? And why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why?
And huh? okay? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Telling me, oh yeah, I already told my mom about you. Why are you telling your mom about me? That's that shit I'm talking about. Moving way too fast. Why are you telling your mom about me? What does your mom need to know about me? I want nothing to do with you, bruh. I just want food. Like, that's all I wanted. Just food, bruh. The fuck? Since when did food get you in this much trouble? It's not like I wanted drugs. It's not like I even wanted sex. I just wanted some food with my fat ass. Some fucking food. Damn. Oh, I'm going in with Honeymoon, Black Radiance, setting powder on the rest of my face. Sorry, I be forgetting. So, people stay asking me how my face stays set throughout my photo shoots, because I be, you know, changing environments for my shoots, and, you know, a lot of girls, I mean, the photographers I work with tell me that girls typically sweat their makeup off and shit like that. So yeah, that's what I use, y'all. The Black Radiance setting powder. It really works for me, and it lasts. It holds my makeup all day and all night. I'm telling you. Black Radiance. That is a great brand. Girl, play up on my body like that. And you man, what fuck you, girl? You come here, vibe. Okay, now I'm gonna contour. I'm gonna contour with the Black Radiance True Complexion contour palette, and I'm going in the contour shade, and this is the Dark to Deep palette. The Dark to Deep palette. Okay, I'm gonna go in, first of all, low key, high key, I be trying to see on social media where this dude is at, because that story or that experience was just crazy for me. Like, I'm using the NYX Matte Finish Finny Matte, whatever this is, setting spray. The Lord was with me. I'm telling you, I'm protected. People, God don't play about me. That's what people don't understand. It's the protection for me. It is the protection. It's the blessings for me. Like, God don't play about me. It's the blessings for me. I'm going in with the same pencil I used for my eyebrows to line my lips, because I'm dark skinned and I can get away with using black liner, and black liner stays showing with no matter color I use, no matter what color I use. Just sharpen it a little bit. Madly Matte lip gloss, and dab a little bit, smudge. I know it looks ashy, but I'm gonna go over with lip gloss. Revlon HD Rose Quartz lip gloss. lip lacquer. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can keep up with the next upload or the future uploads I post. I'm thinking the next story time is either going to be how my mom reacted when I got on birth control. Subscribe and hit the bell so you can find out which one is next. Okay, bye.